beautiful people. Happy December 17th. Welcome to 321 No Kidding. I am Natalie Awesome. And there is a blizzard outside my window. Well, I don't know the true definition of blizzard, but it's been snowing all night. And I am glad that I don't have to go anywhere today. That's my first gratefulness of the day, is that I get to stay in my nice warm apartment, except for when I have to go move my car outside. But I could even be grateful about that because we have a parking lot that is off the street, so we don't have to worry about the plows. Although the plows will block my car in, but that's what four-wheel drive is for. Okay, I don't know how to pronounce this, of course. Xenophon says, "The sweetest of all sounds is praise. When we were little and had just learned a new skill, such as tumbling head over heels in the grass, the first thing we wanted was for mom or dad to watch us do it. Look at me. Look what I can do," we said. If we were lucky, our parents praised us, and we soaked it up and felt grand. As small children, we knew we needed praise and we weren't shy in seeking it. Sadly, as adults, we often pretend we don't need any praise, or else we feel we don't deserve it. And even if we did deserve it, it wouldn't be proper to ask. But today, we are learning that we do indeed deserve it, and it's okay to want and seek recognition. If we can't yet ask for it anywhere else, we can always find it in our fellowship. Soon, as we learn to ask for and accept praise, we also learn to praise ourselves and to value our own opinion as much as we do others. Today, help me believe I deserve praise and give me the courage to ask for it. This is good. This is kind of like the model of Bobby the Awesome, saying Bobby the Awesome. It's funny. I struggle with accepting praise, even though I know it's like good for me, I guess, or that people are kind by giving it. I do notice that, well, and I don't know if this is the people that I run around with now or how I've chose to set up my life, but I do notice a lot more support and praise amongst, like, on my Facebook page, for example, or around my team. And I guess that's part of what I felt was missing from my day job before was praise. It wasn't that they never said anything positive, but there were times it's like, well, hey, am I invisible? That was the other extreme. I felt like it wasn't even just acknowledging the good. It was just, hey, am I invisible? I don't like the theory of no news is good news when it comes to praise and to taking notice and to people acknowledging us. And I think that the book is absolutely right. In recovery, the first thing that jumped out of my mind when it came to fellowship and meetings and stuff is how we support each other with milestones. And often there's people who talk about the number of days not being important. Like every day is day one, right? Because we're all just as close to going back, whether you're 30 years away from a bet or 30 minutes away from a bet. We could all go back the next minute. I know that's a dark thought, but it's kind of true. So when there's milestones celebrated, though, I don't think it's necessarily taking away this whole thinking around time, like I just mentioned, but more so that we are acknowledging the wins. If we go a day without gambling, a month without gambling, a year, whatever it is, it deserves to be praised and acknowledged. And maybe you don't have people in your personal life that can do that. So maybe it's in your recovery life if you're not out in the open. I happen to be very in the open, and as you know, right, as I sit here, and I still get a little uncomfortable with the praise. Like, I know it's good. I know it's good for me. There's still something unsettling about it, right? And I'm sure that you probably can relate to that. It's really hard sometimes to take a compliment. It's kind of like the same premise as the negative voices in our head, that we can't make them positive as easily as we would like to. And I don't know when it shifts. Like the reading talks about, I can envision lots of little kids doing this. Look at me, look at me. And I was probably like that too. I don't remember that far back, honestly, but I can remember seeing other people do it. And I wonder when that point is that it shifts from being okay with getting praise to not feeling like we deserve it. When does that happen from being a child to growing up? I honestly don't know, and I imagine it's different for everyone. I think as soon as we learn to ask for and accept praise, we also learn to praise ourselves and value our own opinion as much as we do others. That's why it reminds me of the negative voices in our own head, and we would never say those things to someone else. So we have to do the same thing when it comes to praise. It's okay to acknowledge your own successes and wins. It really is. It's no different than giving yourself the positive self-talk of just being kind to yourself. So I want you to, when something happens, think about how you would treat it if it was someone else. So I'll use yesterday because it's fresh, but a year without alcohol. If someone else that I knew, had a year without alcohol, I would absolutely praise and acknowledge them and celebrate them because it's an accomplishment. So I should do the same thing to myself in this case. And that's what I'm recommending you do. And now it doesn't have to be something as big as that. Yesterday in our group, one of the things I love about entrepreneur stuff or being a business owner now, and part of why I created the Recovery Entrepreneur Show that's coming out and a different platform so that you guys don't have to hear all about my work stuff constantly and I can keep them separate, is there's so much correlation, I think, between the groups that I'm in with entrepreneur and the groups that I'm in with recovery. There's a lot of similar premises. And in the entrepreneur groups, we get asked often, what did we accomplish? What were our wins? And we're guided to celebrate our wins. And it's okay to celebrate them alone or with a group or publicly or whatever. I mean, it's okay. And that praise is, I would imagine, if I was a really smart scientist or psychologist, the praise to me is that positive reinforcement, right? That the whole Pavlov's dog concept, right? Ring the bell, he gets a treat, but give some praise, you do more good. Give some praise, you do more good. I think that that's the cycle we need to be on. It's no different than the opposite cycle that I'm always warning you on, that if we stay stuck in the past and the shit, then it's a whole lot easier to relapse. So let's work on making that cycle of praise a better one. Acknowledging when little victories are happening and big victories and any victory. And it could be something as small as, and this isn't small. So somebody just popped in my head, someone who's been struggling a long time and they finally found a therapist they connect with. They're starting to have an appreciation for meditation. So those are victories. That's how I view that. If we called a friend instead of going to bed when we were having an urge, that's a win. That's a victory. If we're even taking notice that we could call a friend or make a bet, that's self-awareness. That's a victory. So it's all a matter of looking at your own actions and behaviors and reframing them so that you notice the victories and the wins and you praise yourself and you be okay accepting praise. And in order to accept praise, right, you have to let people know what your steps are, your step forwards, not to be confused with the 12 steps, but your forward steps that deserve praise. You know it. Well, I don't want to say no one can acknowledge you, but maybe not. Maybe not everyone around you is paying attention the way that we are. I always laugh at that. It's like nobody thinks I'm important as I think I do, and it's true. I think I picked that up from when I went to rehab. Like nobody noticed I was missing for 30 days. Like the people that were the closest knew, but people just don't think about us in that regards. I'd like to think that that's changing and people are doing a better job, especially after this year. But as a general rule, and I say that because it works in our favor too, when we think people are talking about us or whatever, we're just not that important to be talked about. I mean, chances are it's not happening most of the time because people are just focused on themselves. Okay, I totally deviated there. But what I'm saying is you're allowed to talk about your victories, talk about your successes, and accept the praise. And I think you should. And I think you should allow it to make you feel how it makes you feel, which is hopefully good and inspired to do better and to do more and to continue on. So today's final sentence, again, is today, help me believe I deserve praise and give me the courage to ask for it. And it doesn't have to be direct as I'm asking for it. It could be just making an announcement that you did something. So I praise you all. I praise you all for being here and being mindful to working on yourself or learning more about gambling addiction, spending time with me. I appreciate it and I acknowledge it. And if you're here for a reason. This isn't just recreational listening. I really try to challenge you guys to find your way to your best life the way that I'm finding my way to mine. So thanks for tuning in. I hope everyone is safe. And I don't know if I have safe on my mind because of this crazy snow. But I hope that you are safe and well, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Thank you, beautiful people.